Hey guys, Zach here from digitalconstructive.com, and in this video we're going to be talking about the C-9 license, or the Drywall Contractor license. So a drywall contractor lays out and installs gypsum wallboard and gypsum wallboard assemblies, including non-structural metal framing members, and performs the taping and texturing operations, including the application of compounds that adhere to wallboard to produce a continuous smooth or textured surface. Now, I know that's a little bit wordy. That's straight from the CSLB website, which is the Contractors State License Board, which is the governing agency for contractors in the state of California. So the C-9 license essentially is required for anybody that's looking to bid on projects over $500 associated with any type of drywall work. So, if your bid's over $500 in labor and materials, technically you've got to have a C-9 license. So how long does it take to get the drywall contractor license? You're looking at about 90 days. Now, sometimes it can take a lot longer than 90 days. Sometimes you can get it in under 90 days, but on average, that's about how long you're looking at. Now, the time of year, whether or not you have a criminal history, and then whether your application is put under further review, these are all factors that can contribute to how long it takes for you to get your drywall contractor license. But on average, you're looking at about a 6 to 8 week application processing time, and then usually another 3 to 4 weeks after that before you go and take your exam. So what are the basic requirements to get the C-9 license? You've got to be at least 18 years of age. You've got to have a valid driver's license or USAID. You've got to have a Social Security or ITIN number. And you can't currently be on probation or parole. Now, the requirements to take the exam are that you have to have 4 years full-time journey level experience that has to be within the last 10 years. And a journey level contractor essentially is able to perform all the duties associated with their trade. They've done it unsupervised. Has to be 4 years within the last 10 years. You've got to have somebody who can sign off for you. And you've got to be able to document your experience if the CSLB asks you to send documentation. So who can sign off on your experience? You can use a general contractor. You could use a C-9 license holder. You could have a foreman or supervisor. You could have a fellow journeyman or fellow employee at a company you work at. You could have a business associate, so a client or a company that you work for. These are all people that can sign off. And what I mean by sign off, this is somebody who's verifying that you have the experience that you claim to have. Now, filling out your application. So, the person that you choose to be your qualifying individual needs to write a description of your work experience. So the person that you end up choosing to sign off for you, they're going to have to provide a description of your experience. Now, this description has to be written very specifically. So, Tim is a nice guy and has installed drywall. It's not going to work. It's not going to be accepted by the CSLB. They're going to want to see something a little bit more in depth. So they're going to want to see something like Tim has attached drywall ceilings, solid partitions, he's installed laminated drywall, metal door frames, single layer walls. You get the picture. So that's something to keep in mind when you're filling out your drywall contractor license application. So what's on the exam? It's going to be 2 parts. There's going to be 115 questions on contractor law, and this is the exact same law test that all contractors have to take. It's going to be another 115 questions specifically on drywall. You'll have 3 hours to complete each portion. It's a multiple choice test, and it's going to be taken on site on a computer. And you can bring a translator if you need to. So what's on the C-9 license portion of the exam? So 20% is going to be planning and estimation. 14% is going to be preparing for installation. 28% is going to be installing drywall ceilings and related materials. 22% is going to be finishing. And 16% is going to be safety. So for a deeper look at the law test and the C-9 portion of the exam, I would encourage you to check out our website. We've got a full blog post that covers everything in detail of what you need to know. But this is kind of just a basic snapshot. So after you pass the exam, you'll get your results immediately. It's done on a computer, so you'll know right then on the spot whether you pass or fail. You can do a retake. Usually you get a retake within 3 weeks. and then you go back to the location where you take it. Sometimes I've seen people get them in under 3 weeks, but on average, you're looking at about 3 weeks. And you have to pay a license activation, and you have to provide what's called a contractor bond number. And then usually you get your contractor license card in the mail within about 2 to 3 weeks. So getting a contractor license, specifically the C-9 license, is a very smooth process if you have the right information, and then of course if your application is filled out correctly. You want to make sure that you have all the documentation prepared before you submit the application, and then of course on the application you want to make sure that everything's filled out correctly, there's no hiccups, and there won't be any problems. So I just want to thank you for watching. Again, my name is Zach from digitalconstructive.com. If you've got any video, if you have any questions about the video, drop a comment. I'm always going to make new videos. I'm going to drop more videos on other licenses. We've got a ton of extra content. If there's something you want to see us make, drop it in the comments and we'll do our best to make that happen for you. But again, my name is Zach from digitalconstructive.com, and thanks again for watching.